Well, we are back from Mudbug, and unfortunately, I did not take the time to get any footage for you guys. I know, shame on me, I should have, but I'm going to put some pictures and little video clips that other people took. We had a lot of people come out, and of course, you could tell by me being a darker shade of brown and some peeling skin that I got absolutely cooked by the sun. Everything got burned. I've got a really wacky life jacket tan. It wore me out. I rode probably like 350 miles Saturday and Sunday on the XPL. So Monday and Tuesday, I didn't do any late work those nights. I just took a little resting period and I'm back at it today. Now today we're not doing something on the jet skis because I've got some maintenance to do to my car. So many of you do not know this, but I have a 2007 Corvette Z06. I remember when that car came out, my dad had bought one when it was new back in the day, getting to grow up around that, and now as an adult, I own one. I've had this car for almost 4 years now, which sounds crazy to me. I've had so many different vehicles throughout my adult life, and I've driven this car and owned it longer than any other vehicle I've owned. I've put a little over 20,000, about 25,000 miles on it now, actually. It has a total of 45,000 miles. It doesn't sound like a lot, but I've driven that car more than any other car I've ever had. Now, you know, I've got a little knack for messing with things. I just can't help it. I mean, why leave something as it is when you could make it better? Maybe a little bit more inconvenient, but you're gonna have more smiles. I guess you could say that I built that car in my dad's garage. I've done some modifications to it. The whole process really makes me feel good. I do a lot of stuff with the jet skis, but that car and working on that is what really brings joy to my life. It makes me feel like a hot rodder. Buy a car, pull it home in my dad's garage. I do all kinds of different work to it. I've had the transmission apart, I've done engine work, you know, all kinds of stuff. It's a really cool and neat thing to me. But today we got to change some O2 sensors. My left and right bank O2 sensors went out, so we got to go change them. While we're at it, I got to change an oil on one of the things that's bolted to the engine, and I'll show you some other stuff about the car. So I'll give you this little peek. If you know what you're looking at, then you know this sees some positive pressure. The car is blue, as you could have guessed. Got it up on these things, and having a low car around here is a struggle. So I had to make this little ramp, and I used that alignment plate tool as a bridge between the two, so I get on here without ripping my splitter off. You can see my splitter from driving around here has some damage. If you heard anything about Louisiana roads, is that they suck. Driving a really low sports car doesn't help. On my fuel system, I've got some aftermarket injectors. I've got this regulator that returns a fuel pressure sensor. Yeah, that's a Fuel Tech fuel pressure sensor, because we come in the car, this whole thing is running off an FT550 Fuel Tech ECU. This is really ugly, so I need to move this down a little bit, and I want to put a carbon fiber plate to block this off, to like finish off the look of it. But for now, this has been good for my driving and tuning that I've done, but this is on my list of things to do. No, I'm not going to be the best car tuner in the world, nor do I need to run this car on a Fuel Tech ECU, but it's one of those things that I enjoy doing and it brings joy to my life. So that's what this car's got. It runs on E85, and it is surprisingly fast for the mods that I've done to it. I've got a 26-inch drag radial on the back, and it doesn't matter how fast I've been going. If I lay into the gas, it just lights them up immediately. Fishtails all over the place. So it's a lot of fun, and it's a handful to drive. Okay, so this is one of the not so fun parts about this, and that's why I've been putting it off for so long. So I got like 2 inches of room before I hit my face, and I need to get that sensor up in there. And this sucker's still pretty hot. It's not a fun job. It's kind of a pain in my ass, but it is what it is. It's a part of owning something like this. Really wish I had a car lift to make this that much easier, but it is what it is. You got to work with what you got. Okay, so we did all of that for nothing. Good news is I didn't need to change the O2 sensors. The bad news is I spent $200 on new O2 sensors when I didn't need them, because it was the nanos that control the O2 sensors that went bad. These are supposed to be waterproof, right? So I mounted them in the fender, kind of out of the way. It's out of the elements. It's not a watertight compartment. It's in the fender. And these things are full of water. Look at this one. This has got water flowing through it, and it's all corroded in the back. So I need new nanos, but the water did not come in through the nano itself. It came in through the plug. The plug's a sealed connector, so that's kind of strange. So I'm just going to get some new ones on the way, and we're going to mount them in a different location that's hopefully more out of the elements. I think I'm going to mount them high up in the engine compartment. That way when you open the hood, you could see AFR when you're working in there, instead of just remote mounted in the fender. So I guess that's what we're going to do with that. Just a little update on the car. I emailed Fuel Tech this morning. I explained to them the situation, and I was completely honest. You know, I told them that I mounted them in a location that was exposed to the elements, not completely out in the water where they're getting submerged or anything like that, but some exposure to the elements, and they got water damage. And you know, they are supposed to be water resistant. They were not mounted in a perfectly dry environment. So partially my fault, and I explained that to them. But Fuel Tech is sending me 2 brand new wideband O2 Nanos anyway. And that just goes to show you how great their customer support is. There are not many businesses out there where if you damage a product, they are going to send you a replacement at no cost to you. So that is great. I have to thank Fuel Tech for that. So when those come in, we'll get them back in the car. And tonight, I am going to show you guys how to do cam timing on a Yamaha. 3 or 4 people this week emailed us having issues with low compression, and just about every single one of those had cam timing that was wrong. They go to do a stage 2, install springs and retainers, and just don't get it right. It's not that hard to do if you have the right tools and you take the time to do it. On this Yamaha, we have the cams installed, valve covers ready to go on. You can see the timing marks. That one's perfectly where it needs to be, and so is this one. We have cylinder number 1 at top dead center. Now, how do we figure that out? We put a dial indicator tool in it. We sell these. We do have these in the store for you, so it makes it much easier. So just one stop, you get what you need to get the job done. What you're reading on the gauge doesn't really matter. We're just following the needle to where the cylinder comes up, and then when it starts to drop back down, we know we're beyond top dead center, the piston's going back down in the bore. So we spin it backwards until it comes right to the sweet spot again, where it's not going up and it's not going down, it's just perfectly in that little sweet spot. And that's how we know that number 1 is at top dead center, and we can get our cam timing right. Now, you cannot accurately do this with a screwdriver. Some people just drop a really small and long screwdriver down into the hole and watch it come up and go back down. That is not the right way to do it. I can almost guarantee you that you're going to get it wrong. So just for reference, we're going to spin this thing over so you can see what the needle does on the dial indicator to get it at top dead center and set your cam timing. So you can see it comes up and starts to go back down. So we're going to spin the engine back in the opposite direction. And we're going to come back up again until it hits the sweet spot right about there of top dead center. And doing it like that, you can see here we are again. The timing mark there is perfect, and it is perfect here. So if you have the right tools, it is very easy to do. You really can't mess it up. So I'm going to get the valve cover back on this engine. This is done, and I will catch you guys next week. I know it was a short video this week. Kind of taking it easy after the long week last week. I need a little bit of recovery time, but we're back at it. Next week, we got a lot of stuff going on. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, because we will have a lot of stuff for you guys to see in the next episode.